It was certainly frustrating to lose a football game like that. And come out here in a conference game. There were a lot of mistakes made, and there really weren't a lot of plays made tonight. I mean, when you look at it overall, I think one of the two key things in this game would have been the number of fumbles, the number of time we put the ball on the ground tonight, and the field position were probably the two biggest obstacles that we faced tonight. It seemed like every time we went out there, we were on the 10-yard line, backed up, where you have a young quarterback and you have a very limited offense that you can run, where you got to still be able to solidify your edges so you're not getting any lost yardage plays. But we really, thought we were able to run the ball okay, nothing special, but I thought it was okay. But really, it was the lack of big plays that I thought was really evidence tonight from an offensive standpoint. I thought the young quarterback stood in there and showed an awful lot of poise tonight. I thought he showed an awful lot of toughness tonight, and I was really proud of the way that he competed. But we certainly, in the last 2 weeks, have not done a whole lot to help him on the perimeter. It seemed like we had a lot of guys tripping and falling tonight. There was a number of times on third down, it just seemed like Terrence caught his feet one time and slipped and fell, and DeVario slipped and fell, and Andre slipped and fell. It just seemed like we were having a hard time keeping our feet tonight, and it was just really hard to get anything going consistently, and then we weren't able to make a lot of big plays offensively. Defensively, I thought we did some good things, but the two long drives that we gave up, especially the third and I think the beginning of the fourth, certainly were discouraging as they were running the zone play into the boundary. And we couldn't do a lot to stop it. I thought they did a nice job coming off the ball, but that was the frustrating part. There's two drives defensively, but like I said, I think the tail of the tape tonight, the big things was the field position and the number of times the ball was on the ground.
Skip, as rough as it was, you're at the goal line there, down 13-0. If you punch it in, you're within a score. Do you feel like any sense for why things got away from that point?
No, like I said, I thought our defense played really well early. I thought our defense was playing really well early. They gave up the touchdown on the short field, and then we gave up the big play right after the challenge. When I challenged the turnover, probably should have gotten man coverage. We went to zone. They ran a cross-country route. It's very difficult to cover in zone. You're probably best played man, but with them, after the long delay, they had plenty of time to go over and dial one up in the dirt. And we probably should have gotten man coverage, but it was that big play score after where they got the ball about midfield, and then those two drives, and there was a number of points right there.
Just the normal pushing and shoving, kind of get over the top.
Yeah, that's what it appeared to be. At the very end, I didn't see it obviously with it happening on their sideline with everything that happened. It's an emotional game. It's an emotional game, but I certainly don't condone, not having the film or the copy or what the TV. I'm anxious to see what happened at the end because it kind of looked like pushing and shoving. I asked the official at the end, they said, could you tell me what happened over there? And he said, just a lot of pushing and shoving. So I really couldn't tell the instigators or what happened on the plays. Y'all had a better view of it than I did.
Skip, when you guys lost the 6 in a row, you took a lot of pride in how close these games were and how well the guys battled to the end. Does it hurt that the way this season is ending right now is with 2 games where the score gets out of hand at the end?
Well, yeah, it does. It does hurt, and it's, like I said, it's part of being young in a lot of respects. I know I look at, like I said, some of the younger offensive linemen that are playing for us right now, and you look at one of the pressures or sacks. You have a sophomore tackle gave it up who hadn't played much for you on the left, and one of them, a redshirt freshman guard, gives it up on the right. You're still looking at a lot of youth out there on the football field. I'm certainly not making that as an excuse because we expect them to go out there and compete. But we've talked probably the big thing about a lot of guys are going to have to step up with the productivity of BJ out of the lineup, and I don't think that has been the case. I think Matt has definitely been probably more than I expected him to be in a redshirt freshman thrown into that situation with the poise and composure that he's shown. But I don't think we have made a lot of plays happen for him on the perimeter. We're not helping him a lot. There's not a lot of plays being made on the perimeter.